Imisi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm well. I'm well. Thank you.
Hi, Imisi. How are you?
Hi, Richard. Great to see you again.
Lydia said
We've met before, and I was trying to place the event. It wasn't the Blavatnik, was it?
No, it wasn't. I actually came to your offices. I believe it was.
Oh, cool. For one of our open days.
That was right. Yeah, of course.
Yes. I mentioned to Lydia about the tea and biscuits. It was a beautiful occasion.
Well, no biscuits and tea
You can
today.
pay him later, Richard.
Excellent.
So, Imisi, tell us a little bit about IAMedia and, your motivation starting it, and how it's going.
Brilliant, and yeah, thanks again for inviting me to this platform to give my perspective. So the reason I started IAMedia, it was for two reasons. The first reason was because in my past I worked with digital marketing companies, people or companies within that space. And I noticed that the brands that I was consulting with, so I was working with like top tier multinational brands, for example, like Gymshark, for example, or even the RBS or Pure Gym. And I noticed that those companies had access and the know-how to leverage certain technologies that SMEs just didn't know about. And this led for them continued growth. So I thought that I would leverage those tools, those softwares that those businesses use and apply them to small to medium enterprises so that they can scale and they can grow in a similar fashion, for example. Because the difference is, and the cost wasn't that much that those businesses couldn't have access to them. It was just more they just didn't have the know-how. So that was first the gap that I noticed that IAMedia could definitely fill in. And secondly, on more socially led reason, is that I actually had the opportunity to potentially move to New York with my second company. However, the companies I'd work with, because of experiences that I've had in the workplace, I thought that I essentially was making money for an organization that I didn't fully align with in terms of socially. So I wanted to create a business and an enterprise that had social causes in mind and try to lift more people depending whatever background they had. So I wanted to create more of a socially conscious enterprise from the ground up. And that's what I believe I've done with IAMedia and will continue to do in the coming years.
You sort of alluded to the fact that you had some experience which led you to starting your business. Can we dive deeper into that? Are you essentially saying you talked about values and aligning? I think that's absolutely important. But did you have anything in terms of an experience that was just essentially unacceptable when it comes to racism or unconscious bias or microaggression? What specific experience did you have? Without going into too much detail, obviously.
No, that's fine. And secondly, I just wanted to apologize for my haircut. The barbers are closed. I would be much cleaner.
You're way up the ladder on haircuts.
Sorry about that, Imisi.
I love it.
Yeah. So ever since my first ever job, because we said no specific details, I've experienced difficult moments regarding race. So I won't mention the organization's names, but I've had racist remarks directly aimed at me by senior members of staff ever since I was 17, working my first job, all the way to my last job. And even within IAMedia, I always find myself in certain, not always, I'm not going to say always, but I've found myself in numerous business meetings where certain comments, certain digs that I've had to overcome. And within those roles that I was in, I just thought that, at the end of the day, I was making money for people that I didn't want to make money for. So that's why I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try and create my own enterprise that people would feel comfortable working in, as well as customers can feel proud to be a part of as well. So yeah, I've had a few. I don't know if you wanted me to give you an exact example, I could give you like at least 10.
Well, yeah, I was going to ask. I mean, are they blatant examples?
All right, cool. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
I'll be
please,
honest.
please.
Absolutely.
Let's get it out there.
Okay, so
Yeah.
in my first job, for example, a senior member of staff in front of a store manager called me a black bastard. So told me go back home. In front of other staff, for example, once the Paris attacks were happening, I was actually in a bar with some colleagues, and let's say someone on sea level said, "This is why we should have kept you guys colonized," in front of all the other members of staff as well. And in
What
every
happened to them?
Although take into account nothing. No.
nothing was ever happened to him. The first one was my first role, and I guess maybe coming from a Nigerian background, the gentleman was past 60, and it was my first role. And because he said it so openly, I didn't really know how to address it. So I kind of just internalized it and just got my head down and kept working. And again, in regarding the case where he said, "This is why we should have kept you guys colonized." We're talking about someone that, if you worked in that company, you know who I'm talking about. But we're talking about someone that when he goes to travel on an airplane, the pilots will come out and greet him, in terms of how well connected this individual was. So I don't know. Because I studied politics, philosophy, economics, I've always tried to play the long game. It's actually quite interesting. I'm actually saying this on a public platform because my whole thing was to keep quiet till I got into the position to actually make more of an impact. I felt I could have maybe addressed it there and then, but I felt like even more doors would have been closed for me in my career. Whilst I thought, let me work up and get to a certain standing within society and then make my change, because I felt like that would be more impactful rather than, attacking at that moment in my life. So I don't know if that's the best strategy. I haven't got all the answers, but I just thought, like, keep working out on yourself, keep making those changes and within yourself and knowing your long game rather than going for quick wins, which again might have closed more doors for me. So that's my answer to.
Just a comment, not necessarily a question, but I absolutely think that you have every platform from day one to say what you feel and speak up, and you should definitely never let anybody quieten your voice. So, but now you are speaking, it's absolutely powerful. So thank you so much for kind of sharing that experience. I mean, even just listening to it, I was like getting shivers, just like thinking, wow. I mean, and obviously the strength that you have now absolutely shows that actually it's not even really about the long game, it's just that attitude of just still wanting to succeed regardless, and here you are with your business now trying to help other people. So, kudos to you, absolutely.
And yeah, all day long we've heard of people looking for examples, and you're very much an example. And if you don't say anything now, well, I was about to call him a gentleman. He's not a gentleman. The person that referred to you as he did has had a voice and you've not. And there's a 17-year-old who blames you for not speaking out then, but you are now, which is great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah.
So you had another question.
Yeah. So you're a supporter of black founders and businesses, but have you felt similar support for you and your business? And you've alluded to the fact that you haven't in recent times. So.
I've always tried to support black businesses. I think at the start it was quite hard. I didn't really have much support or guidance in terms of what I was doing, which would have definitely been more helpful. But over time, I definitely have. I've definitely got people that I consider mentors. For example, Lydia. I would definitely consider Lydia to be a mentor and a sponsor for my business. I'm within an organization called Alito as well, which essentially tries to support people from diverse backgrounds. and I've got, you know, some contacts there as well. So I think as I've gone, I've met people along the way, and it's definitely been me like trying to reach out. But within those networks I'm within, I've seen that potentially there's it might be kind of overcrowded. Not overcrowded, but for example, within Alito, they've got a select few of, you know, high achievers. But, you know, in terms of the cohort, we've got maybe like over 500, 600, 700 different people all looking for support, but only a handful of mentors or people that have made that transition, that can really support their community. So like, how much time can you actually spend with those founders, with those mentors, for example? But yeah, I think, and as we've got more case studies and more clients, you know, we've got more people to speak about us and to introduce us to new contacts. So it's a subjective question, I think, but I think that I do have some support. It might not be as much as maybe other businesses have, but, you know, I'm using them, leveraging them, and not only am I asking for support from those people, but I think for Black founders, I also look for opportunities and how I can support those people that I consider to be mentors as well. And I think that's how you create that type of business relationship where it's give and take, and you're not just asking for favors all the time. So that's what I try to do anyways.
We're asking businesses to make one promise on Twitter. You can make me one promise. Make sure you come back to the office and let's have a chat about how we can work together to support you and what you're doing and create those spotlights on case studies that you're trying to bring to the fore.
Yeah, please. As long as you've got the biscuits, I'm there.
Yeah, you have the biscuits, so I don't have them.
That's a deal. If you're only coming to us for biscuits, then
charge him more than biscuits, Imisi.
Oh, now
those all day long.
Now your agent's trying to get you to charge.
He is my mentor, you know.
Oh.
Brilliant.
See you, Imisi. Really good.
Soon the barbers will be open, and then the nail bars and everything else.
Just shave it off. Get some clippers, take the whole lot off. That's what I do.
I'm too conscious of my hairline.
Well, it's not a good idea under these lights. I think I'm
Full of Oxford at the moment. Well, great to see you, and thanks for being so open and honest. And
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you got to keep doing it.
Yeah. Any final words, Imisi?
No, yeah, just thank you so much for this platform. Thank you for having this discussion. It's not easy. I think it shows that we've still got a long way to go, because we still need to have these discussions, and very much so. And it's not an easy thing for anyone involved to be doing. Even me, like this has been, you know, it's just having these questions. It's brought up a lot of issues that I didn't think I thought I'd resolved, but I was like, oh wow, I forgot that even happened. So yeah, so thank you so much for this, and I hope, you know, change does come within the Oxford community and within the community globally as well. So yeah, I appreciate the platform.
no.
Anything that you think that we can do as a business community to help help you in what you're doing and other Black owners succeed and get exposure, please do let us know. It's
just all about sponsorship. It's all about sponsorship. Yeah. It's great to have mentors, but for example, Lydia is not just a mentor, she's also a sponsor for my business, because she makes contacts available, and in those meetings that I might not have access to, she champions our business and our cause. And that's one of the biggest challenges that Black businesses have, is that they don't have access to certain closed doors. So they need allies. We need allies in this fight. I'll put it in that terminology. It's a fight, because I think a lot of people get misconstrued that, you know, racism is just, you know, some ignorance, for example. No, I strongly believe that racism was weaponized, and these are very intelligent people that are trying to keep these barriers in place. So we need allies, and people that are going to sponsor our businesses, that, hey, we do quality work, and, you know, give us this chance, and it's our responsibility to take them. So that's what I would say for if you were looking for that answer.
That's answered. Yeah, thank you very much.
Brilliant. Yeah, we look forward to working with you.
Enjoy the rest of your day.